On day 4, we went to the botanical gardens at some place, I forget what the name of it was, but the botanical gardens themselves weren't very interesting. They had a lot of plants. My mom wanted to go there, and all of us were just like, okay, sure, we'll go there. It wasn't very interesting, and it wasn't what she thought it would be either, because she wasn't very interested, turned out, either. But it was okay, because on the premises, they had this, like, library that wasn't just a library, it was like a museum thing, and it had really, really old books, and it made me really, really happy. Like, it had the first folio of Shakespeare, like, the first folio. The first folio. And it had the first edition of Much Ado About Nothing, the first edition, and lots of other things. It just really made me happy in an English nerdy way, because I'm an English nerd. So yeah, then we went to a science museum where we saw an IMAX movie that was really cool. It was really pretty and really big and 3D, and things were flying, and it was really cool. And they had some pretty lights outside. And then most of the exhibits inside were kind of boring because they were geared towards little kids. I kept saying, you know, if I was about 10 years younger, I'd be loving this place. But it was kind of a letdown because, you know, I'm 19 and Rosie is 23.
Here is Rosie and Emilie and their dad trying to lift the truck up. Can they do it? Look at that brute strength. Oh, yes, they are marvelous. But can they do it at point number 2? Let's go down here and see. It's harder there. Will they be able to lift it? Look, Rosie and Emilie can do it by themselves, and their dad lends a hand. And yes, yes, they have succeeded. It is magnificent. Okay, now here comes the real test. Point number 3. Can they do it at point number 3? It is off a little bit. Do you see that, people? Off a little bit. Yes, yes, they have succeeded.
And then that night, we went to Santa Monica, and we did a bus tour on a double-decker bus, a wreck. Not a wreck, but In the Heights got me, kept singing that song, so anyway. On a double-decker bus.
I feel really tall.
Rosie and I had a running inside joke that we kept singing Charlie Sheen, because at one point when we were driving, there was a car next to us, and then someone had like pulled up behind them, and the person in the front got really angry at the person behind, so he like literally like got out of his car, went to the person behind, and started like yelling at him. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. And then he got back to his car, and he was like, oh, and he made this really angry face, which when he made the angry face made him look like Charlie Sheen. I mean, I knew he wasn't, but he looked like a face that Charlie Sheen would make because he was angry. So I looked over, I'm like, hey, that guy looks like Charlie Sheen. And Rosie's like, what? Charlie Sheen? You see Charlie Sheen? I'm like, no, I don't, Rosie. But that guy looks like him. So she looks over, and by this time, after all this had transpired, he wasn't angry anymore, and he was back to a normal, neutral, I'm driving, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm bored face. So he didn't look like him anymore. So Rosie kind of looked like me, like I was stupid. Not stupid, but very, not right, as in not correct. So for the rest of the trip, we had an inside joke going that we would just keep pointing at random people and being like, hey look, it's Charlie Sheen! It's Charlie Sheen! Then on day 5, which was Sunday, we went to a church in the morning, which I forget the name of, but my dad or mom had like found it online, and they were like, oh, let's go. So I was like, okay, let's go. And so we went to that, and it was pretty cool because it was the day before Memorial Day, and so at one point they had this guy come out, and he was a black guy, and he like just started like reciting the I Have a Dream speech for Martin Luther King, and he was like amazing, and he was like so like into it, and I was just like, oh, you're awesome.
Palm trees.
And then after church we went to a go-kart place, which was like a legit go-kart. It wasn't just like little dinky like, yeah. It was like, I think this top speed you could go was like 40 miles per hour. It was like intense, and you had to like wear like racing helmets and all this like really cool stuff. And you had to like screech around the corner, and in our race there were 11 people, and I got, I think, 6th place, which, you know, is pretty respectable for it being my first time. But my sister got 7th place, and then my parents got 10th and 11th place, so I won 1st place for the Thorntons, so, you know, I'm happy. I'm very competitive.
Lovely, lovely palm trees and a lovely, lovely
play areas, classes,
with
and
lovely,
other
lovely
recreational
buildings.
opportunities. So now you too
And a lovely, lovely parking lot.
And then after the go-karts, we went to In-N-Out Burger, which is a burger joint that you can only find in California. And they're awesome, and well, I will let this tell you why.
At last, our quest for an In-N-Out Burger has been completed! Yay! Yay! And look what they have on the bottom of their cups because they're awesome. They love Jesus. So do we. It's true.
Then after we ate dinner, we went to the beach.
And we finally made it to the Pacific Ocean. Ta-da!
On day 6, we went to Universal Studios, which was really cool. It wasn't like the best theme park I've ever been to, but it was really cool because it was all like themed like movies and stuff. And so first we went on the backlot tour they have, which after going on the Warner Brothers one wasn't really that cool because we'd already seen it, and I mean I'd seen a set of Chucks. I mean, there's no beating that, but there was some kind of cool parts.
This is the crash scene from War of the Worlds. They got a real plane and wrecked it. And then left it here for all us people to see.
Get in.
And then we went on a few rides, which were pretty fun.
Aw, aren't they so peaceful?
Some of them freaked me out a lot because, well, I don't watch horror movies, as I'm sure all of you know. So I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to go into a haunted house, that the whole point of it was that there were movie horror villain things in it. Creature, people, characters. That's the word. But yeah, like past and present, like the really famous horror movie characters. And it was basically a haunted house that you walked through, and I literally got like maybe 30 seconds into it where I just started freaking out, and I like had my hand over my eyes, and I just like made Rosie lead me through it, and I was like, okay, I can listen to it, I just can't see anything, and they're not allowed to touch me because, you know, Erica had already always told me about how actors aren't allowed to touch people in a haunted house, and also the person at the beginning of the ride was like, oh, the actors aren't allowed to touch you, so you don't have to be afraid. But I mean, I still was, because it was really freaky. So I was like walking around like this, and then all of a sudden I felt something brushing against my forehead, and they had like a bunch of like cobwebs in there, and so I just turned to Rose and like, what was that just touched my forehead? And she's like, oh, that was Frankenstein. And I was like, wait, well, I didn't remove my hand, but I was just like, wait, you mean Frankenstein like an actor? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, wait, an actor touched me? And she's like, yeah. And I started like screaming because I was like freaked out. I'm like, they're not allowed to touch me. I'm going to have you fired. You're not allowed to touch me. Ah, I'm going to have you fired, and this is LA. Acting jobs are hard to come by. I was literally screaming this in the haunted house. So I'm sure the guy playing Frankenstein was probably laughing at me, and not at all feeling badly, but just laughing. And somewhere in the middle of all this screaming, my phone went off with a text. And so I started screaming again. I'm like, whoever just texted me is going to be cursed! And then I finally got out of the ride, and of course it was Billy. So I texted back saying, okay, you're cursed. So then I had to explain why. But that was kind of funny. So overall, the Universal Studios was a good day. But yeah, there were some moments of me freaking out.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. What? I just reverse recorded.
That was my time in California. And it was a wonderful experience, and it made me realize that I might possibly want to do film acting, because before I'd been like, I might want to do film acting, but now, like, having been to LA, I'm like, I'm going to have to delve into this some. So, well, I mean, League of Insomnia, good way to start, because we're planning on doing some webisode things, so that'll get me with my acting chops on. And then also me and my friend from home, Bethany Neff, not Bethany Brown, Bethany Neff, are writing a movie. Well, I'm writing the movie. Well, we're collaborating on the ideas, and then I'm writing it, and then she's filming it, and we're both acting in it. Anyway, hopefully we can get that all accomplished this summer so I can get some, acting experience on film. Holy!
What's the matter?
I just did it again.
What did you do?
Reverse recorded. My life is going to be an adventure, as will all of ours, as we strive to become the artists that we want to be in our arts. I'm a dork. So that's it. I will update you with another vlog, I'm not going to type anything, another vlog soon, telling you about my real life adventures, because I would regale you more now, but I feel like this one's going to be like really, really long already, so I'm going to just keep this vlog as California itself. So yeah, that's it. Alright, farewell, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, 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 to you and you and you, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright, love you all.